Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for taking a moment this morning and joining me for this week's Coffee with the Principal. There's so much going on as we're now just over just about 4 weeks from the end of the school year. This year has gone by so fast, and we're amazed at the progress and the performance of the people that our students really have become over this past year. So just as a reminder, we've joined the meeting muted. Feel free to use the chat box as needed. We are recording it. We encourage you to leave your video on, but we certainly not required to do so. And then when we get to the Q&A, we're going to have you use your hand when you're raise hand, or just unmute, ask any questions that you want to. Okay, so glad you're here this morning. Anyway, one thing I want to do before we get started is we have a very special guest who I just want to briefly introduce to you, who's joining us on this Zoom this morning. I want to introduce to you Dr. Bradley Fuller, who is currently working in Hillsborough County Public Schools. And he is an assistant principal right now, and he's going to be a principal at the beginning of the next school year. And Dr. Fuller and I go way back. We've known each other for nearly 30 years. And anytime that someone really dedicates their life to education and the impact that they can make on young people, it's really something to celebrate, something to rejoice in. And I'm super grateful that he's popping on this Coffee with the Principal this morning. So welcome, Dr. Fuller. So glad that you're here, and for the impact that you're making on the lives of our young people in the great state of Florida. Do you want to say a few words before I move on? Go ahead. Welcome.
I just want to say thank you for having me, Mr. Hansberg. I really appreciate it, and just wanting to learn from a great principal who's been doing it for years already. So I just appreciate you letting me come in here and learn from you.
Well, thank you so much again, Dr. Fuller, for joining us, and again, proud to continue the collaboration. Let's go Mets. All right, let's see. Couple big things that are happening in the district, and I want you to be aware of. You may have heard of this one. Yeah, I don't unmute myself, Mr. Hansberger. All right, LA Unified recently launched a partnership with, I believe it's, well, a technology company to provide internet for families in need. And we did this during the pandemic, but it looks like the program is being expanded. And what I want to do is share a brief video and some information about how families might qualify, how families might request the service, and then we'll go on to some other stuff. So I'm going to share a brief video and then go over some points. I'm going to turn off my video because it helps buffering better. So here we go.
Today we are announcing that every single student will have access to high-speed internet at home.
Today, we have a press conference launching the district's initiative, All Families Connected, which will provide free high-speed internet for our students across the district. Internet service is as important as water, gas, and electricity. It's an important utility. Internet is indispensable.
So during the pandemic, we learned a lot of lessons, and one of them was lack of connectivity impact the student performance, academic achievement, and getting them connected give access to all of those information in this century. And we are hoping to provide that access for all of them.
Through a partnership both with AT&T and Spectrum, this is the opportunity to upgrade to a new, faster level of connectivity. No questions asked. Today
So like our new superintendent, who's from Florida, shared, the district has partnered with Spectrum, that's who it is, to provide digital connectivity to make sure that all of our families in LAUSD have the opportunity to do that. And really, these days in 2022, a kid without reliable high-speed internet is really at that severe disadvantage. So the district is really moving forward to make sure that every kid has access. And so here is kind of how the process works. First step is a family who's in need of this would go to device.lausd.net and indicate that they're in need of that. You sign in with your parent portal login information, and the district takes it from there. And the district is going to offer the in-home internet to those who have an unmet need and also who live in a serviceable area, which hopefully is most of the Southern California area. So everything is happening at device.lausd.net. I think everyone's got a parent portal account. And then there's a series of questions that you can respond to about your student's device and their internet need. And then based on if you qualify, you'll be provided with that. It's largely, if you want to get all wonky, it's largely funded by federal funds to help families connect. There's no income eligibility requirements. So this is for all families who qualify based on their internet needs. Families are not billed for the services. The district provides these services, again, from that federal funding that we're getting. Currently, what's being offered is 12 months of service, and then it'll be reevaluated on a year-to-year basis. I wanted to let you know of two opportunities tomorrow. It looks like that the district is providing places where internets and devices can be picked up even tomorrow. So one of them is from 9 a.m. to 1 o'clock at LA High School in the Mid-City area. And one of them is, again, same time, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Crenshaw High School off of in the Crenshaw area as well. So if you're interested in that, what I would encourage you to do is go to device.lausd.net. Which I've put in the chat. I'll put it in there again, and check out one of those two opportunities tomorrow. So that's really exciting. I'll be honest, I just learned about this, so I'm still learning more about the nitty-gritty details of this. So if you have specific questions, I can try, but I may not know the answers, but I promise I'll look up answers that I may not know the answers to. All right. Other things that are going on. So last week was super exciting because last Friday we actually had one field trip and then one 8th grade activity. So Miss Dunklin led our NSBE students to a Six Flags day that is called Outdoor Classroom, where they go to Six Flags and yes, they can ride the rides, but they also get this massive packet of like engineering and mathematics problems. And so they can connect things that they really enjoy that are fun with some of the STEM learning that we've been focusing on here at the school. It's something that the curriculum folks at Six Flags do every single year. This is our first year doing it, and the kids had just a wonderful time, and were able to make that academic connection. When they came back on the bus, I asked one of the students, hey, what did you learn? And he, without missing a beat, he looked back up at me and said, I learned that my friend can eat like 2 pails of Dippin' Dots. And then we went a little bit deeper into the conversation about the learning. Additionally, also last Friday at the same place, but it wasn't a field trip, it was an 8th grade activity. Our eligible 8th graders got to go to Grad Nite at Six Flags in the evening and had a wonderful time there, just celebrating their time together as 8th graders, last couple weeks of school together in middle school before they part different ways. So thank you, families, for supporting that and for having your child attend that. Couple things going on in the life of the school, past and present. Last night, the LAX Coastal Chamber of Commerce hosted the annual Teacher Eddy Awards. This year's theme was Teachers Make Magic. It is a wonderful annual celebration of, there's about 25 schools in the area. Each of them select one teacher who's their teacher of the year, and they go to like an awards gala, and it's super fancy and it's really wonderful. And so last night's award winner was Miss Jones, because she's done such a tremendous job this year, leading our young people, having data conversations with them, connecting their learning with presentations, with online journals. I don't know if you've seen the what is it, the newsletter that they've put out a couple times, as well as the books that they've created. So well done, Miss Jones, and she's a wonderful teacher to have here at the school. We're able to celebrate her last night. Next, coming up, some of you know, and I've mentioned here before, Katherine Johnson STEM Academy is part of LAUSD's Black Student Achievement Plan, or BSAP, program. And so one of the things that we're doing to celebrate our Black students and to deepen our connections with other families is we're having a picnic on Saturday, May 21st here at the school from 11 to 1. And so we've sent out invitations. What is really helpful, if you RSVP for that, that'll let us know how much food to get. So that is coming up on not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. Some other 8th grade activities that are coming up. And let me actually say this. So we're having a formal celebration at towards the end of the year on Friday, June 3rd from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Playa Vista Center Point Club. It's a semi-formal event, so our students are going to look really, really nice for that. And this is going to be a 7th and 8th grade formal celebration. So when we were planning this, we were first thinking, oh, this will just be another 8th grade activity. But then we realized that this can be, at the end of the year, kind of a powerful night to really have that, to pass the torch, if you will, from our 7th graders, from our 8th graders to our 7th graders, who will become 8th graders next year. So students who are academically eligible, so that's, I think, one D or F or fewer and like 3 U's or fewer, are eligible to participate in this. We sent out Blackboard Connect messages last evening to eligible families. Take a look at that. The cost of that is due by June 1st through PayPal or through cash. And if you have any questions about that, Ms. Alejandre can share with you all the answers to that. We're excited to partner with the Centerpoint Club in Playa Vista for this event. All right, I've said this a couple times already, so I'll go quickly. Our state testing is coming up this week. So students are starting on Monday, are going to take one part of a test session per day in either ELA and math, and they'll do that 4 days this coming week, and then 4 days the following week, and then 8th graders have a couple extra ones. The point of spreading it out over this time is so that each test session is only like 80 minutes every day. So we don't want to overwhelm them. We want them to take their time. We want them to show their work. We've also incentivized it. We've got pizza for kids who have perfect attendance. We also, I don't know why I agreed to this, but if kids are taking their time and showing their work, our teachers are going to make note of that, and kids have the opportunity to slime Mr. Hunsberger. We've purchased a bunch of slime, and kids will get a different size cup based on how many days they are taking their time and showing their work. So, and this is every single kid, so has the opportunity. So I'm going to get really, really slimed on that. So there's more information on that in Schoology that I shared with students, but they can ask their teachers about that as well. Couple reminders: make sure your child gets a good night's sleep, eats a healthy breakfast. Please avoid scheduling appointments on those dates. Make sure your child fully charges their Chromebook the night before, so it's got enough battery. And then one of the things that you can do is you can actually take a practice test with your child. And that's a helpful way for you to kind of see what the academics students are accountable for at every grade level, but it also gives you a chance to just see what they're doing and to walk through one together. We've shared this with students also on Schoology, but again, this is our bell schedule. It's slightly adjusted, but the school start time and school end time are the same. So 8:45 to 3:46 every day. Friday, the early dismissal, 2:17 p.m. All right, last couple things, COVID updates. So we have more cases now than we had last time, but the good news is that all of the folks that I spoke to who had the positive test case, they have either mild symptoms or no symptoms, and so everyone thankfully is doing very, very well, and we continue to take our safety precautions here at the school. Some of you may have received a note early last week that is a slight adjustment to the LAUSD policy, and what that is this. So if your child is part of a cohort of an individual who tests positive, your child still does not have to quarantine at home. They don't need to miss school. As long as your child tests negative and feels fine, your child can continue to come to school as normal. We'll continue to conduct instruction as normal in person, no changes. The only change would be if your child was in a cohort with a positive test case, the indoor masking would be required for 10 days after that. Outdoor masking is still optional for everybody, but that small change, and we sent out notifications to cohorts of students who just need to do the indoor masking for a period of 10 days. So everyone seems to be doing well, and they'll be back from isolation very soon. All right, that is it for me. As always, if you haven't already done so already and want to share your thoughts about our school, one place that lots of families check us out is Great Schools, and if you click that link, you can take a moment and just leave your feedback there so that other families can know more about what families are experiencing here at Katherine Johnson STEM Academy. All right. 9:17. So I will pause and see what questions folks may have as we come to the end of our time together.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you have a sense of the high schools that the 8th graders are going to? I'm kind of in a vacuum.
Sure. So when I'm out on supervision and I'm near 8th graders, I'll just randomly ask them, hey, what high school are you going to? And 75% of them say, I don't know yet. And then I say, what are you thinking about? And we have some who are going to Westchester. There are some who are going to Da Vinci, some who are going to St. Bernard's just down the street. Some are going to Venice. Let's see. Those are the ones. Those are the ones that frequently come up. Those are also the ones that kiddos in previous 8th grade years have predominantly go to. Some are going to Wish. So what I say? Venice, Westchester, Wish, Da Vinci, St. Bernard's. Those are kind of like the big 5, but kids go all over the place and kids move too. So great question.
We're going to uni. So if there's
uni, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
or anything.
True story. Before he worked here, Mr. Medellin used to work at uni. So if you have any questions about uni, he will be happy to share that with you. But
Great,
very cool.
thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Great question. Any other questions that folks might have? All right, I usually wait till just after it's a little bit awkward and then I wrap it up. So again, families, thank you so much for joining today's Coffee with the Principal. Thank you for your partnership all year long. It has been and continues to be a real joy to do school with your kids. It really, really is. I also want to thank Dr. Fuller for joining us today. Thank you so much for popping in. It was a pleasure to have you. And I want everyone to have a really, really great weekend, and we'll see everybody next week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.